fans on Facebook to ask Chef Michel. Amanda Hoffman, she would like to know, if I eat sustainable foods, will I lose weight?
Well, first of all, I want to show you Annie, who is the vision of fitness. And I would say, yes, absolutely, because if you're eating sustainably, you're not eating processed foods, Amanda. You're eating whole foods, you're eating whole grains, and you're eating lovely fruits and vegetables like what Annie grew for us today. Annie, would you like to say something to Amanda?
Well, I think that's exactly it. The closer you get to the garden and to the food at its source, the less processed it's going to be. It's not going to have added flour and sugar and salt, and those are the culprits. You know, as soon as it's been processed, there's all kinds of additives, and I think that that's the exact truth, is the closer to the ground you get with your food, the more fit you're going to be.
So Amanda, eat sustainable, lose weight. That's the message.
That's
Good
right.
question. Thank you.
And you'll sell a lot more so-called sustainable food because if people think they'll lose weight, yes.
And then Annie stays in business.
Right.
There you go. Okay, we have another question from Christine Bibbo Air from New York, New York. How do you know if an avocado is ripe? How do I choose the best one from the market?
Ah, excellent. Well, avocados are ripe. First of all, when they feel really heavy in your hand, and then when you hold them in your hand, if you squeeze just a little bit, you feel that little bit of give. That's when they're ready. And if they're not ready, don't buy them. Because they're hard and they ripen unevenly at home. So really best to buy the ripest ones from the market.
But I have to say that I happen to like my avocados just underripe. In other words, it's just the barest amount of give. You know, it's just, and the guys at the grocery store do not like it when you massage their fruits and vegetables. But and now I also have to say that in the big stores they have a big sticker on it that says ripe. I can't believe it, but Michelle has just told you to do without.
I might disagree that the grocery guys don't want their avocados massaged. I'm sorry.
Elaine Stewart Shaw from New York, New York. Do organic foods go bad quicker than non-organic? And if so, does this affect how long leftovers will last?
That's an excellent question. Generally speaking, if you're buying organic foods fresh out of the ground and you're talking about fruits and vegetables, there's no difference in the amount of time they last. Organic foods that are bagged on the shelf of a grocery store, non-organic foods often have been treated with a chlorine derivative and other things that will extend their life. So I'm an advocate of not eating those things, which is the reason for choosing organic. So if you're buying organic foods locally, sometimes they actually tend to last longer because the soil was more healthy that they were grown in. Instead of just using nitrogen-based fertilizers, those fruits and vegetables last longer. Packaged foods, that's a little different. If you're buying packaged food, organic might not last as long, but again, I'd change my buying habits because it's what you don't get with the organic that makes it good for you.
Right, the other thing you can do, there's a green bag. We pack all of our produce in a so-called green bag that is made by Everett Fresh, and it actually absorbs ethylene, and it keeps the produce 3 to 4 times longer. So our greens last up to 2 weeks.
The green bag.
Yeah, and it's
how appropriate.
And it's made from the Ono stone, and it actually absorbs ethylene. Often commercial fruits and vegetables, though, are sprayed to ripen them quickly. So there's a disadvantage to buying the commercial fruits and vegetables because they spray them. They ship them raw or green or hard, unripe, and then they spray them just before they go into a store. So very often it can work against the non-organic food, and they ripen too quickly.
Makes sense.
Awesome.
Great. Okay, one more question, guys. Susan Graziano from New Jersey. Whenever I buy fresh herbs, I never use the whole bunch. What is the best way to preserve them so I can use them again?
Oh, awesome. Well, I think a green bag would be a good idea for one. But what I love to do with the fresh herbs, the minute I get them, I kind of treat them like flowers. I cut a little bit of the stem off, and then I'll put them in a glass or a vase of water in the refrigerator. But before I do that, I wrap them with about 3 or 4 layers of damp post-consumer waste paper towels and mist the towels, and I keep them in this moist environment, and they actually last up to 2 weeks in the fridge. So You know, and the other thing I would say is eat more herbs. Just you're not adding enough herbs to your stuff. You can't add too much herbs. What do you think? You like herbs, don't you?
I love the herbs, and I actually did exactly what Michelle is saying. I picked these chives last night, and I wrapped them in paper towel, exactly as you said, and brought them down here wrapped in moist paper towels. And right now they're sitting in a little bit of water, and they're just like they came out of the ground. But what I do is, if I'm only going to use a little bit of them, I take the rest and chop them real fine. And if you have a gas oven that has a pilot light, or even if you don't, you put them on a cookie sheet and let them dry, and just toss them into a jar as dried herbs.
Nice.
And save them as dried herbs. Yeah.
Succulente.
Chive.
Nice, Farrell.
Chive thing.